Hello, we're going to do another book review. Today we're book reviewing My Cousin, My Gastroenterologist. The book is described as a cyberpunk science fiction detective stories, pop culture stuff. It's made up of several, as you can see, different chapters. Each of these big letters, a new chapter here, so on. It's really odd. The chapters, like, I don't know if they go together. I guess they're in the same universe. Like, there's a lot of talk about gastroenterologists. There's a lot of like semi-incestual weird stuff, like his beautiful cousin or his beautiful sister killing the father, or like, I don't know, I would describe the book as psychedelic, I would say, in that it just feels like you're kind of never focused on one thing, going like from one, it's just constant happenings of strange stuff, and nothing that's like normal either. So I would say it's psychedelic because you're sort of just being thrown from one absurd, unreal fantasy scene to another one, and like it's very odd. It's there's like a sense of morality in the characters. Characters have senses of what's wrong and right, but then the universe itself has like a very juxtaposed morality to the world we live in. It's in the far future. I think everybody's robots, although the main character might be the last. I think he's the last human, or the last muscle man at least. It's very odd. I'll read you a small chapter because there's some that go for literally like half a page, and I just read one earlier. Okay, I found it. So I'll read you this section here. It's just a small chapter called "The Suggestiveness of One Stray Hair in an Otherwise Perfect Coiffure." I'm gonna have to look that up. I'll tell you what that is. Just before I look it up, while I'm looking it up, I think it's, oh god, I don't really want to guess, like a cushion or a couch or something like that. But that's kind of it. Oh, it's a person's hairstyle. There you go, I don't know shit. That makes more sense. But whether it's like a couch with a stray hair on it, a perfect couch with a stray hair, or a perfect hairdo with a stray hair, there's lots of words in this book that I don't know off the bat, or references a lot of the time. It talks about a pin dot lamb's wool tie here. I don't know what pin dot is. I can like guess though, and then they'll be talking about specific characters, like pop references and stuff like that, or like, here's a line: "I'm rolling down the Pacific coast of South America, but I never make it to Tierra del Fuego." I don't know where that is, but I mean, like, it's a place, I guess. It's probably important. Now, I could spend time and I could look it up, and I could really understand the metaphor, but that's one line in like, there's a lot of lines. Some of this is just lines. Some of it has like zero punctuation, or like alternative punctuation, you could say, where it does like a few spaces instead of a full stop. Or some of the conversations are like fully quotated out, and he said, she said, and sometimes it's just like you have to try and stop to figure out who's speaking, because it's just a series of endless words. A lot of these stories were published in a magazine, I think, or various magazines, and then he put them all together. So I'm not sure like, I know when I write, I'll often just write scenes, and then I'll fit them into my bigger story, because like you can sort of you know, if you write just a generic scene about a car driving past, you could put that in almost any story, and there you have a small chapter about a car going past, whatever, you know, you don't. So I think he's kind of done that here. Obviously you edit it and make it all flow together, and you pick and choose, so he's done what he's wanted to, and it does make it an overall story, but it's weird. So just in editing, I realized I went on a bit of a tangent there before reading it, just because I got the word wrong in the meaning of the word wrong in that chapter title. But the point is, even if you don't know what the meaning of the word is, or you don't know where Tierra del Fuego is, or you don't understand the pop reference, or even if you don't understand the full sense of the story, where the plot's going or what's happening, at least for me, this book is a lot more about the moments in each part of it. So like each line has a lot of depth into it, and you could read one page and find, like, you know, poetry somewhere in there, or find political or social commentary, or find psychological insight, or even just be like pleased by the scenario that it sets, or whatever it is. And that's, in my mind, good writing. And like, his world is obviously all built out, and just because like it's unclear to me as a reader, because I don't know all the words and I don't understand everything, doesn't mean that like the feeling isn't transmitted. And I think that's what's really good about this book, and why I suck at explaining it, and also why I went on a tangent just before. So that was my point, I guess. Enjoy the rest of the video. I'll read this section now. So, the suggestiveness of one stray hair in an otherwise perfect coiffure. Number 6. I think chapter 6, I guess. He's got a car bomb. He puts the key in the ignition and turns it. The car blows up. He gets out. He opens the hood and makes a cursory inspection. He closes the hood and gets back in. He turns the key in the ignition. The car blows up. He gets out and slams the door shut disgustedly. He kicks the tire. He takes off his jacket and shimmies under the chassis. He pokes around. He slides back out and wipes the grease off his shirt. He puts his jacket back on. He gets in. He turns the key in the ignition. The car blows up, sending debris into the air and shattering windows for blocks. Gets out and says, "Damn it!" He calls a tow truck. He gives them his AAA membership number. They tow the car to an Exxon station. The mechanic gets in and turns the key in the ignition. The car explodes, demolishing the gas pumps, the red and blue Exxon logo high atop its pole bursting like a balloon on a string. The mechanic steps out. "You got a car bomb," he says. The man rolls his eyes. "I know that," he says. So that's just the entire chapter right there. It's interesting. What I quite like about it, first off, it's obviously funny, but the absurdness of the universe, like this futuristic, psychedelic, punk, pop, not really punk, but pop sort of universe, is exciting even when nothing's happening. So like, the guy who's got a car problem, he calls the mechanic comes in and is useless, as you know, as is the cliche. But then in this absurdist world, it's got a layer that really interests you, and then from there you can relate to the story as well, because of the underlying mundanity of it. So it's quite interesting. In a way, we can all relate to the guy who's got a car bomb, and we take it to a professional, and the professional tells us, you know, the exact thing we already know and nothing else. but in his story it's captivating, I guess. Anyway, that's just a little excerpt there in my analysis of that, but also a larger analysis of the book. I definitely recommend it. If you know someone who has it, ask them to borrow it. If they don't lend you books, they're a dick. Cool. See you later. Also, I'll probably put a link to where you can buy the book. The author is totally deserving of money. So yeah. Like and subscribe.